white, which to me embodies the way living with a mental illness feels. Madness lurks around the edges of my mind, watching, waiting for me to let my guard down so I can invade, or perhaps madness will creep in under the cover of my denial. I close my eyes and try to wish it all away, but I'm no genie. My genies are pink and yellow and green and white, and they must escape their bottles often, or madness moves in and stays. Alright. So I believe that psychiatric medication is beneficial to those with mental illness. Having a mental disorder myself, I am a strong advocate of seeking treatment. And these are some facts about mental illness and depression. Mental illness is defined as a mental or bodily condition marked primarily by sufficient disorganization of personality, mind, and emotions to seriously impair the normal psychological functioning of the individual. Mental illness is also known as mental disorder. And then these are some facts about suicide. In 2007, suicide was the 11th leading cause of death in the U.S. As of June 2010, there was no evidence that the prescription of antidepressants increases suicide risk in children, adolescents, or adults. These are the definitions for chemical imbalance and bipolar II disorder. In my junior year of high school, I was diagnosed with a chemical imbalance or chemical depression. In 2010, my symptoms elevated and I was given a new diagnosis, bipolar II disorder, which is still a chemical imbalance but differs from depression. The key difference between bipolar I and bipolar II is that bipolar II has hypomanic but not manic episodes, meaning the symptoms of mania are generally less severe in type 2. This is a timeline that gives you an idea of what I've gone through. I'm lucky to be alive. Without receiving the proper treatment and medication, I would most likely have died by my own hand. Throughout my adolescent and adult life, I have had difficulties with mental illness. I've lost jobs due to my chemical imbalance. I've been suicidal, and I've hurt myself intentionally. It has been a very hard battle, but I have survived. After my new diagnosis and new prescriptions, it took a few months for me to stabilize, but I have remained stable since. These are verses from the Bible regarding depression. In the first, we see the prophet Elijah suffering from depression. He prays, saying, "I've had enough, Lord, take my life." This is a clear case of suicidal thoughts. God sends an angel to comfort Elijah and to bring him strength, giving him what he needs to overcome. The second passage reads, "Dear friends, do not be surprised at the painful trial you are suffering, as though something strange were happening to you. But rejoice that you participate in the sufferings of Christ, so that you may be overjoyed when his glory is revealed." This seems to show that depression is not sinful, but rather a test sent by God that has a purpose in one's life. While dealing with my chemical imbalance, I've had to deal with people who don't agree with my being medicated. They think medication is a crutch or even harmful. Though it is hurtful to have to deal with these opinions, I try to be patient and attempt to address them. Who's to say what people need to overcome mental illness is not medication? Suicide rates are higher among those who do not seek treatment. Also, many Christians believe seeking treatment, psychiatric treatment, is wrong. Referring back to the story from the Bible of Elijah, God did not condemn Elijah for being depressed. He sent Elijah what he needed to feel better and get through the hardship. God provided the physical treatment Elijah needed for his emotional and mental health. Nowhere in the Bible does it say we shouldn't take medicine, and there is no distinction between bodily and psychological illnesses. Okay. Suffering is not necessary. Why suffer alone when help and support are within reach? There is no excuse to not take care of your mental health. When your mental health is in crisis, you need to be responsible and take care of yourself. Find treatment, find support. your life is too precious to risk. And there's my works cited page.